YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to your way basketball analysis on analysisplayground.com. And on YouTube, we gonna talk about who to expect to win and come home with the most improved player. This is one of the toughest awards to win because you have to play better than ever in a year where people thought you was disappointing. A portion of it might be they thought that you could be better, or they thought that you'll reach this pinnacle at a certain point in time, and they're just happy that you lived up to the hype. And that's the whole purpose of this award. You improved so much that you deserve a lot of credit for the hard work that you put in to your career and to your play style, and now you're getting recognized for it. And we're going to talk about 6 players that I want to talk about that can win it in any order. Then I'm going to pick the person I think is the winner, and that's all that matters. But Tyus Jones for the Phoenix Suns, he's been rumored to be a starter. We know that he can run the offense of a basketball team. We know the fact that he can, get guys involved, pass the ball real well, hit mid-range, hit threes. We knew he was one of the best bench players in Memphis, playing underneath Ja Morant, and he just was well known for that. And now he takes a job that he know he's going to be a starter. He know he's going to be a real contributor, and I think that his numbers going to get a little inflated because he's going to have a chance to play with some great players, play off some great players, and usually that's what you need to be able to do if you want to be an improved player. You have to be able to play on and off the ball, and I feel like Tyus has been able to do that. He just need more opportunity, more minutes, and then he can show you what he can really bring to the table. And I think his numbers is going to be way higher because he fits what the Phoenix Suns are trying to do. He understands how to run a point guard position. He understands when to get off the ball, when to look for teammates. So that's going to play his assist stats. Plus, he's a guy that can, score a little bit too, so he can possibly be at a double double, which will put him in a conversation or close to it, depending on how many assists he gets with his double figure points. He can be in the conversation for being the most improved player, especially depends on how the field looks, that he's going against. Another one is Chet Holmgren. I feel like he's going to be bigger, he's going to be stronger, he's going to shoot better, he's going to handle better, he's going to finish better, he's going to be a better defender. And if he can have all those traits that he's shown in his rookie season and explode them to another level, I think that's all that Chet really has to do to be a most improved player type of winner, because we know that he's going to be an all-star eventually. We know he's going to be one of the great players, especially if he can stay healthy, and he showed a lot of that last year while still adapting and adjusting to the league. At the same time, he ended up having a pretty good season like we thought that he would, and he showed that he was NBA ready. Now he knows what to expect. Now he learns how they're going to defend him, how they're going to guard him, how they're going to play him, how they're going to try to neutralize him, and he can now find out ways in the off season and in training camp to be in better shape, to finish better, to be able to use more weapons in his bag of offense to destroy the defense as best as he can. And I think that that's going to be something that Chet can really show. But not only that, I would say Jalen Williams will be in the most improved player conversation because he's one of the guys that is a borderline all-star. And if you can jump from being star to all-star, then you're going to always be in that conversation for most improved player, because you're going from a team scoring to a 20-point scorer. It's tough to do that in the NBA, especially when you have a guy like Shea playing right next to you, and you make the move for Hardenstein, and you make the move for Caruso, but they still need that starting lineup to be able to create for themselves and create for others, and they also need to do it with playmaking and scoring. And I see that the ball is always in Jalen Williams' hand to a certain extent, and he can use that as leverage to be able to show I kind of have to score and do more because his team still needs it, whether people believe that or not. They need that big three to play better than ever. And Dallas showed them that, and the Celtics showed them that. You need your superstars to play like superstar. You need your second player to play like an all-star. And you need your third guy to play like an all-star too, if you want to beat the championship teams and not the great teams in the NBA. And I think that Chet needs to raise his level of play up. And I feel like Jalen Williams needs to raise his level of play up. And if they do that, like we know that they possibly can, basically watching them every season getting better and adding to their game, then this should be one of those races where it might be teammate versus teammate, but in a positive way. And that's something we can look at at the end of the day. Andrew Nehart, I feel like he's going to be a player that has to up his game. We know what Siakam can do. We know what Tyrese Halliburton can do. But when we seen him average 21 points per game in the playoffs, it showed you like, no, you actually can do stuff like that. You actually can play off the ball. You actually can handle the ball. You actually has a good, nice touch from the perimeter. We need you to do more of that if we want to be successful in Indiana. So I think that that matters, and that's a good perspective to look at. That Andrew was a guy that was a rookie, and he understood that he can take his game to a level, and he figured that he could do that in his second year. Now in his third year, we should start seeing some maturation of his game, some evolvements of his game as he understands how to attack defenses. He understands what he needs to do but for the team that he plays on. And I feel like Andrew can raise his game up to that level where he is a 20-point scorer. He is a double figure scorer like he was in the postseason. And if he does that while still getting assists and a couple of rebounds and playing solid to great defense, I feel like Andrew will put himself in that conversation to be in the most improved player category. Terrence Mann, no Paul George, um, no Russell Westbrook. Somebody has to get in that starting lineup and be a difference maker. And I feel like Terrence Mann can be that guy. You know that Kawhi Leonard going to be in and out the lineup, and you playing with James Harden, who likes to hold the ball and set up teammates and look for teammates and make their job easier by giving them an open opportunity or causing enough chaos to where they can get open or they can cut to the basket. He's a guy that keeps his head up and always looking to pass the ball too. And if he can't score it, I think Terrence Mann going to be a beneficiary of that because Kawhi Leonard might not be healthy this season, and somebody got to help put the ball in the basket. And I think Terrence Mann can be that guy that does that, and it does kind of make sense that he will be able to be in that position to get that type of style done because he showed that he can score. He showed that he can create. Now he might have to do it on and off the ball, which makes his job easier, not as frustrating, not as hard. And that's the purpose of getting a ball handler and a decision maker like Harden in the first place. And that's what they wanted him last year. And that's what he's going to be doing if Kawhi Leonard is out. Now we need you to be a higher level player than even we thought that you possibly this season. But when your best player is always in and out of the lineup, and he's a guy that's unselfish too, and he's a guy to give you proper spacing in Kawhi Leonard, if he is healthy, it allows you to operate one-on-one a little bit more, or allows you to get out and transition a little bit more. That boosts and inflates your stats enough to where you can be a 20-point scorer. That will be enough of a difference to say, well, this guy improved a lot. He understands the game better. He has a better feel for the game, a better play style for the game, and he actually complements real well with what the Clippers are trying to do. So it ultimately makes sense why he would be in this conversation for most improved player. And then the last player that I feel like going to win it is Benjamin Simmons. And it sounds crazy, but he only averaged some low numbers when he was healthy. And now they're saying that Ben Simmons is fully healthy and he's ready and he's cleared for practice. And the last time I saw Ben Simmons healthy, he finished second in Defensive Player of the Year for the Philadelphia 76ers and was close to being a triple-double to a double-double each and every game. And the last season that he did play, he ended up being a guy that averaged 6.7 rebounds and 5 assists to some people. That's not going to cut it. But you look at the fact that he only played 15 games and he started 12 of those games and he only played 23 minutes. If you give this guy 32 to 35 minutes, especially with the ball primarily being in his hand as a decision maker, instead of having Joel Embiid on the team, they have no other star, they have no other superstar, they have another scorer in Cam Thomas, but that's not enough for the whole 48 minutes to put you in a great NBA position. And it seems like Ben Simmons is hungry. He wants to prove himself. He wants to play hard, and he's working on his game. Now, I'm not saying Ben Simmons is going to be sniping from three, pulling up, handling the ball, shooting jump shots over the top of you every possession. But Ben Simmons do know how to mix it up. He has a decent right hook. He can get to the basket and dunk. He can get out in transition and finish. He's a guy that's always setting up his teammates, always was one of the better rebounders for his position. And the fact that the minutes and the opportunity and the chance is going to be there, and the fact that he really feels like he's still one of the best players in the NBA, and he has shown that he was one of the best players in the NBA, being a multiple time All Star, being an All NBA player, being an All Defensive player, and you roll all that into the fact that the Nets don't really have nobody that can do these type of things besides Ben Simmons. Even when it comes to now, we need you to score more. Well, if we're gonna put ourselves in a position to win, you need to play me more minutes, give me more opportunity to be a difference maker. That gives him a strong argument, and I feel like Ben Simmons is a guy that's playing on a team like the Nets, to where if you think about it, if he can give you 28 and 8, 27 and 7, which he's been close to doing, but he did play with other superstars like Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and guys like Joel Embiid. This team don't have none of those type of guys on this roster, and I think that this is a time for him to say, "Well, let me be the primary point guard, the primary decision maker. Let me make all the decisions for a majority of the game. The numbers and the inflation is going to be there. He can have numbers that's better than what he ever did in Philly because he has even more opportunity now than then." And I think that that makes Ben Simmons, you're going to be a great defender on the perimeter. You're going to be one of the best offensive influencers in the entire league, which he has shown that he can do, even in college, even in high school, even when he was the number one rookie of the year and the number one player in the draft. That's why they drafted him number one, because he can be that type of player and he can make that type of difference, especially on both ends of the court. I think Ben Simmons will be the most improved player. It's not hard to average 20 points when you have a body and athleticism and the IQ that Ben Simmons has, especially if he really wants to. He definitely can do it. 16 points, you only got to average 4 more points per game, and you're going to get way more opportunity in Brooklyn. So it makes a little sense for this to be an educated guess that can he average more points in the best season of his career? Can he do the same thing defensively? Can he do the same thing in rebounds and assists wise, steals and block wise? I say it should be even better, because the team needs him to be that type of player. The team need him to be that type of leader, and he can finally turn that narrative around. I think that that will be a good thing to be motivating him too. As I can see, he looks like he's not smiling. He looks like, all I got to work out, all I got to do is get healthy. I'm just ready to go out there and prove to my whole self that I can be the player that I know I can be, and everything else that comes with it, whether it's good or bad. And that's just how the game of fame goes. But I think he can turn that negative narrative around if he just hits a floater or a mid range and shoot a three from time to time. Just being open to it, just being prepared to do it when he needs to. I think that Ben Simmons can still be one of the best players in the league, and his numbers can actually back that up. So I didn't put him on my defensive player of the year list just because I don't think his team will be great defensively. I don't think he'll be able to make an individual impact that much that it reflects wins, because the team is just that bad when it comes to talent. But most improved player, you can be a team that's good or bad and still be able to win this award, because the individual award about how great you played that season, and it doesn't really have no team impact based things that comes with it. So I think that can help strengthen the argument for Ben Simmons to be able to win an award like this. And I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, looking at the numbers that he averaged in Philly, they should be almost double, if not close to being that, in a team like Brooklyn, because the opportunity just way too high for him to be able to make, big decisions each and every possession. He has a chance to inflate his numbers like crazy, and that's basically what this award kind of is. How much have you changed? How much have you grown? How much opportunity you get is how you get this award in your hands. And I think Ben Simmons has the biggest opportunity just right there, just to take and grasp and hold up the award and say, "This is why I put in the work, and thank you for the respect that he should be getting from the people instead of the disrespect that they gave him." But use that as fuel to the fire. You already was hungry. You already wanted to be traded. You already wanted your own team. You already showed that you can do it when Joel Embiid went down, that you can put up monstrous numbers and contribute possibly to winning. Now we know you might not be a playing team or a playoff team, but it's a start in the right direction to get your mind off what you can't do or how people feel about you, and start getting positive again and being around the right people and playing your type of game that you know you can play, and you know that has got you to success up until this point. Now it's just time to understand what you need to do and to evolve into the player that you want to be and you need to be for any team in the future or in the present. So I got love for Ben Simmons. I'm still supporting Ben Simmons. I still with Ben Simmons. and I'm happy that he's coming into training camp with the right mentality. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you're new to the channel, check out my older videos on my channel. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you still might have videos that you missed or you didn't see that you wanted to see. So don't forget to check those out. And I have videos just like this and breakdowns of the current players, analysis, tributes to the older players, conversations, debates, and also just basketball, NBA content all year round. So if you love that type of stuff and you need that type of stuff, honestly, this is the channel for you. And it's probably no channel that's better. Plus, I got over 2,000 videos, so make sure you binge watch, and you can get a lot of learning, a lot of history, and a lot of fun all out of this channel. And that's why it was made for people like you to enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the game just like you do, and it's like a perfect marriage at the end of the day. So I'm gone, and hope I can see you guys later.